Hey folks, this is Price is Wrong. You guys obviously know me from Battle Vortex. I'm the guy who basically handles most of the news as far as Battle Pirates goes for the show. I know it's a holiday week for us here in the United States. It's actually Thanksgiving, and but there was some stuff came out this week, some updates, and I thought I would just get into that with you guys real quick. Let me go ahead and play my intro real fast, and then I'll move into the slides.
Welcome to Battle Vortex.
Alright, well, the first thing that I wanted to point out here was the Smart Warheads. It's a new Forsaken Mission prize. It just came out in the Forsaken Missions this week. It has some things in common with obviously, it's just generally, I guess, it's not new tech. It's basically is pulling from other technologies. This one right here basically combines priority targeting. It pulls from priority targeting. It targets with the lowest health ship and ignores submerged subs. Okay, and basically, you know, I wanted to put the warning out there that even though this does have its purpose, just keep in mind that it does make your fleet susceptible to drones, a drone decoy type attack, because your drones have less armor than your ships do, unless, well, there is no unless. So just something to keep in mind. The next thing that I wanted to show was well, how this compares to Fire Support Platform M. If you notice, it does have like an accuracy buff that the Fire Support Platform M does not have, but the priority targeting does. Okay, this one here, it has pretty much the same range as the Fire Support Platform M. In case for those who don't know, that is a drag-based blueprint. The Fire Support Platform M is, and it's a very popular, very commonly used one as well. Oh, sorry, I just realized I was covering up my chat. But anyway, the big difference here is the damage buff, I guess. You see the Fire Support Platform M has a 25% buff, where the Smart Warheads only has a 10%. But quite honestly, I think the 40% accuracy buff does more than make up for this. It's not very often somebody's going to attack your base with a 0 evade fleet. Generally, they're going to have some kind of evade on there. Not to mention, you know, a high evade decoy is another very common tactic. So in situations like that, the Smart Warheads is hi Bailey DeRosia, 1998. That this is a pretty good special for that. I think DPS wise, I think it's a really nice blueprint to have. But again, it does make you susceptible to drone decoys, so it's really something you really need to think about. Next is the D5U armor that just came out. The D5U, I was actually kind of impressed with it, to be honest with you. I did try using the D4U before on a base guard, and you know, I wasn't overly impressed with it, to be honest with you. But this one right here, I think what makes this better is that ballistic. Hey Joel, is the defenses. If you look, this actually does have like more armor points per weight than the D4U, but the big thing is the defense. 7% buffs for ballistic, explosive, and missile are really nice. The one thing that I don't, and yeah, I wish it had like a radioactive. I mean, the radioactive type attacks are what's more commonly used these days. Not quite so much ballistic, explosive, and missile. I think most people who are worried about ballistic and missile might just prefer to do evade, stick with the D5E, as opposed to switching over to D5U. So you might actually get a little bit more use still out of the D5E than you would the D5U. But let's just say you know, you're running a JegX with tons of armor slots and your evade is already up at 80%, you know, you might decide to do something like this. Put this here in a couple extra of the armor slots, you know, possibly. The next thing that came out was the sonic targeting. There's actually 3 of these. There's the sonic targeting 1, 2, and 3. And I just kind of wanted to show, this is actually the first blueprint that you could get that would give you retargeting if you didn't already have retargeting on a hull. And for those that don't know what retargeting is, it's basically the attribute that you gain from laser targeting that allows you to shoot submerged subs and also to have your missiles go in different directions. Oh, I just realized my picture's covering up part of this. Hold on a second. I will take that off. So let's get rid of that, that, and that. Alright, so I'll kind of keep the chat on here a little bit. Well, let me go ahead and pull that off there too. Anyway, now was there anything that I missed on the other blueprints, I wonder? Just in case I was covering up anything else from the other blueprints. That way everybody can see kind of what I had going on. But anyway, moving on to the sonic targeting. This, like I said, this is the first blueprint that that actually adds retargeting. Before, you could only get it from researching laser targeting 1, 2, or 3. But what else this does is it also gives you sonar. Now, the sonar, I think, is actually quite nice. If you notice here, I actually did put the sonar 3, which is another researchable tech. This is like an additional 1%, and you get like 4 extra sonar range, and that just so you know what 4 is, it's really just like a wall block. It's almost insignificant, but not really. But I really think this is well worth it. And just moving forward, I also brought in the sonic targeting 2 and compared that to laser targeting 2, and I really just did that for the just for the weight comparison, just so you can see the difference in weight. Now this one right here, the sonic targeting 2, I compared to the sonic 3 simply because the sonar range, it's actually like 5 more, and for 1%. And then moving forward, the sonic targeting 3. Now this one right here, 40% sonar range. There's not anything else in the game that will give you that kind of a buff. There's not anything else that will give you that kind of a buff. So really, it's just I think this it's a must-have for sub hunters. If you're somebody out there and you're hunting subs, I mean, odds are you're using a hull that already has sonar built into it. I know if you're making the new interceptor, the what's it called, the Frostburn. I know that one there's got like crazy sonar, and you can add this to it. I mean, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. What I would probably put this on, you know, maybe you might think about putting it on some Mastodons, you know, if you were, you know, worrying about getting flanked by some subs, you know, like hitting a base or something like that. This could come in handy. I know generally with the Mastodons, you'd put lasers on there just so they could shoot the subs, but that's not actually detecting the subs. You'd still need to have something to detect them. But with this sonic targeting 3, you know, you're kind of adding that ability to a Mastodon. So that's just something to think about. Let me switch back to my full screen camera view real quick. And I just, the rest of the bug fixes and tuning that came out, they did have the defense. It says defenders are once again given the option to view the map during a base combat by selecting the world map button at the top right of the HUD. Now that I had noticed had gone away, and I haven't been hit today, so I don't know that it's really back. But yeah, it just seemed like as soon as they gave it to us, they have been having a knack for fixing something and then unfixing it. You know, here lately, it's like they keep going back and using like the code from like 2 revisions ago. And, you know, every other week is what it seems like, and it's just they're always not putting themselves back. It's just I know last week they had the thing in the playback mode with the player avatars that was supposed to be fixed, where it's just a graphical issue. It doesn't really affect your gameplay at all, but the avatars are get to be huge, and that's back. So that was fixed for maybe a day. My guess is at some point they put in a hot fix that unfixed that. They did from the work in progress for the month for November. They mentioned they were going to update the Alliance user interface to better match the current UI elements. Again, I just really feel that's really insignificant. It seemed like all they really did was make the background black, and they might have changed some fonts, tweaked some fonts, that kind of thing. But it's pretty insignificant, the changes they made, in my opinion. But I guess it keeps somebody working. Next, the Forsaken Arena is no longer listed. Like some of the larger ships tend to, they overreach. They reach outside their little space, the little rectangle that they're supposed to be drawn in. I always thought that was intentional, to be honest with you. So, cool. Next, they made some final tweaks to the display of the stats. The countermeasure targeting on a turret that has a special equipped. Made some final tweaks to the display of the stats of countermeasure targeting on a turret that has the special equipped. Anti-missile range, anti-mortar range, and countermeasure range bonuses will all be displayed separately. Almost want to load my base up real quick and look at that. Maybe I'll do that after I read this next one. Finally, they said they corrected the gargoyle depth charge spread stat from 0 back to the original value of 80. Okay, I didn't know. I knew they added like accuracy at some point, but all right, well, cool. Well, I think that's what they did, was they got rid of spread and made it accuracy. But anyway, let me see if I can load up my my base real quick. Kixeye. Alright, let me switch back over to my other screen. I'll go ahead and put my camera back on. And, oops. Sorry about that. I put the chat back in. I put up all my little cool graphics. Alright. Let's get rid of all that stuff. Alright. Now, I was going to look at the countermeasure targeting and also the gargoyle depth charge. So, let me see here. Countermeasure targeting. So now it says anti-missile range is 15%, anti-mortar range is 15%. Countermeasure range is 15%. It just seems pretty redundant to me. But I guess, if some people felt like, needed to see that, that's fine. The gargoyle, okay, I guess I gotta actually look at it this way. Alright, so, you know what, let me just pull up the blueprint for the gargoyle. Oh, my stream crashed? Dang it. Alright. I did a... That's a darn shame. But, I didn't realize it had crashed. Alright, so the gargoyle here, it did say accuracy at one point, but I see it's gone back to spread of 80. Because I think it was like 100% accurate or something like that. But, cool. I thought that was a goof. And I guess, obviously, it was. So, but that's pretty much it. I just wanted to cover that. I know that there was a contest mentioned on the Battle Pirates Facebook page today regarding you know, I guess fleet upgrades or something like that, where they're paying out 250 gold. I really don't have any kind of information about that. I'm looking for information about that. So if you know anything, give me a holler. And that's pretty much it. I guess I'm going to go ahead and grab these two videos and then put them together and then post them. I'm really disappointed that it cut out, so hopefully I didn't miss anything. But anyway, I go ahead and play my outro for you guys, and then I'll I'll holler at y'all later, because I'm really not playing tonight. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and y'all have a good one.